No,
like
I will say that, not to be, but that 48 Hours scene when he goes into the redneck bar and the cowboy is one of the few scenes in movie history where you're like, that's a movie star has just been born.
Yeah.
Where with one scene, it's very rare where you can go, like John Wayne in Stagecoach, they always say they push in on him, his first shot in Stagecoach, and everybody went, wow,
who the
who's
hell's
that
that guy?
Yeah. But Eddie Murphy in that scene, I remember I didn't see it, but my dad seen that movie and coming back and going, there's this guy in the movies, the new guy in SNL. It is like one of the funniest things. He's phenomenal. Oh yeah, Walter Hill's movies always have like these canon
unbelievable
sounds. Yeah, best movies. But yeah, no, the gun sounds in 48 Hours, all those Walter Hill movies, he always had like a really cool sound design in his movies. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Jason, he's great. Who gives a fuck what you... Yeah, he has such weird rhythms, that guy. All the Warriors, too. I mean, like, he's such a... he has such cool way of speaking. You're like, yeah.
I mean, if I look at a Hitchcock film like Vertigo, I watch that film like every couple of years. I still don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I'm like,
yeah.
But it makes me chew on stuff,
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's a movie about obsession. I don't know if you're supposed to care about the plot. I watched it again with one of my kids, and they're like, this is corny. Like, also like, wait, what? How would that happen?
Weird.
Like, if you take it literally, I can understand like it doesn't work as a story. But if you look at it in terms of like a movie about obsession,
and then it does make sense.
It's about a filmmaker. This is why critics and some filmmakers love Vertigo so much, is that it's about a filmmaker's obsession, but a guy who was purportedly an entertainer, a guy that was like, I don't want people to go to the movies to see what they already have. I want to give them a slice of cake instead of I want to entertain you.
Right.
And that this guy within this thing made this movie that is so, clearly about him and his own weird shit. That it's kind of, that you could, in a movie with Jimmy Stewart that's, through Universal and everything, like this big, that it could be a thing that was so deeply and uncomfortably personal.
It's amazing.
In the guise of
another story,
Hollywood thriller, thriller that's kind of like, I don't know if it totally works,
Right.
But yeah, there's something about it that you could, I think that the strength of Vertigo is almost out of, it's kind of like a cinematic thing, but it's also a thing you only can get in literature. Because sometimes in literature, you'll read a thing and I go, yeah, the story is kind of, but what it's about is this, I'm in this guy's head and his obsession is really fucking interesting and dark and disturbing. He makes this woman dress up like the lady, it's really strange, like what this guy needs. And it's Jimmy Stewart.
I know, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, that it's Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, right.
It's like it's a Wonderful Life. It's the sweetest guy. It's Mr. Joe American, and it's Glenn Miller, and he's like making Kim Novak dress up like this dead woman, and it's really strange. But it's not my favorite Hitchcock movie, but I think it's like interesting and kind of perverted.
Hi there, I'm Bill Hader. Our movie tonight is a great detective story starring Humphrey Bogart, The Maltese Falcon. Based on the novel by Dashiell Hammett, this is a story of a private eye named Sam Spade, played by Bogart. He's put on the clock by a beautiful dame for a missing persons case. But Spade quickly figures out that the dame is after something much more sinister and deadly. The statuette called the Maltese Falcon, worth so much money, people will kill for it. This American classic was John Huston's directorial debut, and it made quite an impression on audiences and critics alike. Today, many film scholars refer to the Maltese Falcon as the first legitimate example of film noir, a genre that came to prominence in the 1940s. Adding a great deal to that film noir feel was the expert cast, headlined by Bogart, but especially Mary Astor as the femme fatale Bridget O'Shaughnessy. Keep your eye on her. She's a sneaky one. There was also Peter Lorre as the sniveling Joel Cairo, screen newcomer Sidney Greenstreet as Casper Gutman. He's my favorite guy in the movie. And the great character actor Elisha Cook Jr. playing a pitiful but deadly henchman named Wilmer. And in an unbilled cameo, director John Huston cast his own father, Walter Huston. Only John Huston could turn a story involving murder, lies, and greed into a family affair. From Warner Brothers in 1941, also starring our focus for Summer Under the Stars, Gladys George, it's The Maltese Falcon. Okay, so the statuette of the Maltese Falcon itself, want to know what happened to it for real? After being sold and held by various owners over the past 70 years, the actual prop of the statuette was sold last year at an auction co-sponsored by Turner Classic Movies and went to the final bidder for millions of dollars. Now we know how much it costs to buy the stuff that dreams are made of.